Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we'll look at how we can connect remotely to this Kali Linux machine using SSH keys from another Linux machine, an Ubuntu Linux machine, as well as from Windows PC. Now on the Kali Linux machine we just need to verify that SSH is enabled and running. So we'll use the command systemctl status SSH. So it's disabled and inactive. Now to get it enabled and running, we can say sudo systemctl enable SSH, and then we'll repeat the command and start the services here. And let's check the status again. Now it's active and running. The next thing is to create the keys. We can create the keys on the Ubuntu Linux machine and then transfer them. So we'll create a public and private key pair on this Linux machine, and then we'll transfer the public key to the Kali Linux machine. That should allow us to identify the Ubuntu Linux machine and the user to enable login using the keys. To create the keys, the command is SSH keygen. So it tells us here that it's creating a public private key pair. This is the default key type. So this is the directory where it's going to save the key. You can type your own here. I'm going to go with the default. And then you have the option to create a passphrase for your private key. So I'm going to create one here and re-enter the passphrase. Here, and now we should have a key. We'll say ls-l SSH. This is the key we just created. We can create another key. This time we can specify the key type. Let's go ahead and rerun the same command, SSH keygen. The type is going to be EC DSA. The bit size is going to be 384, and I'm going to go with the default. This time I'm not going to create a passphrase. I'm just going to press enter. And let's check again. We have two key pairs. Now we need to transfer these public keys to this Kali Linux machine. Let's look at the Kali Linux machine here. Let's do ls-l. Let's add a here. So right now there's no directory that says .ssh. So let's see if we'll get one created once we transfer the keys. I'll go back here. Now the command to transfer the keys requires the IP address of this Kali Linux machine. I'm gonna do IP address. So the IP address is 172.16.1.103, and I can try and see if I can ping it. Ping 172, ping count 2. 172.16.1.103, and it's reachable. So let's transfer the keys. The command is SSH copy ID, the user init on the Kali Linux machine, then the IP 172.16.1.103. Enter. Yes. Okay, let's go here. Let's rerun. So it looks like it failed. Let's try again. Put in the password. Okay, this time it looks like we were able to install. Attempting to log. 3 keys remain to be installed. Number of keys added 3. Now it says check to make sure that only the keys you wanted were added, and then you can try to log in using this command. I'll go here again and look at the logs, and this time I did open the session. So let's do ls dash. Well, now there's this directory right here, .ssh, created today. Let's check the contents here. ls.ssh. Now I have a file here called authorized keys. I can do cat.ssh authorized keys. These are the two keys we transported. So now that we've confirmed we have the keys on the remote machine, we can go to this Ubuntu Linux machine and try to log in using the command SSH at 172.16.1.103, and I'm able to log in. And the reason why is because I did not specify a passphrase when I created the second key pair. If we go to this Kali Linux machine and look at the logs, journal CTL, so there's different ways you can look at the logs. Let's use journal CTL and specify SSH service here. -u SSH service. It says accepted public key for from this IP, and this is the key type that you accepted. So that's how you log into a Kali Linux machine from another Linux machine using SSH keys. Clear this. Now you can use the same process from a Windows PC. You'll need to create the keys, generate the keys using the same command. If I do the here, this is where the keys or the key pair will be placed. If I do dir.ssh, right now there's no key pair. I can say SSH keygen, press enter, and it's going to generate a public private key pair. This is the default key type. You can specify a folder, you can leave the default. I'll leave the default. Then you can enter passphrase here. And passphrase again, and now we have the key pair here. Now from a Windows PC, you can transfer the keys to the remote device, which is the Kali Linux device, using SCP. So you have to say SCP. You do dir here. So once you verify that you have the keys here, you can transfer this public key using SCP from the Windows PC. We can do SCP, then the key you want to transfer, SSH ID. It's going to be the public key, not the private key, 255.19.pub. Then the username for the Kali Linux machine, the IP address 16.1.103 colon. Now you can check on the Kali Linux machine here. You can do ls. This is the key right here. I can say cat ID, and I can now append this key, just redirect it to SSH authorized keys, cat SSH authorized keys, and this is the key from the desktop. And now if you go back to the desktop, you should be able to SSH to this device 16.1.103. It's asking for the passphrase that we created when we created the key, and I'm able to log in using the SSH keys from a Windows PC. So that's all for this video. That's how you log into Kali Linux machine from a Linux machine using SSH keys, as well as from a Windows PC using SSH keys. So I hope this information has been helpful. I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.